Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
So yesterday we discussed about how to log into Apps Manager, how to push your applications, and about logging architecture. We understood about how the logs of application can flow from your application container to Doppler, and from Doppler how traffic controller takes it and exposes firehose. Everything we understood. So today agenda will be about a very important topic: services. What are actually services? Different types of services. How we can create and use services, right? So to quickly revise, I will ask you some questions regarding logging. Okay, let me check how many of you can answer my question. So my question is, see, this is my Cloud Foundry, assume, and this is my cell. And here, let's say my container is running. This is my container. Okay. In my container, I am writing some logs in my application to std out, standard out or standard error. Okay. Now, in Cloud Foundry, we understood that there will be a logging server called as Doppler. How will the Doppler get the logs of your container? Can anyone tell me?
From Metron agent.
Exactly, Metron agent. Thank you. Okay, Metron agent will be running on every VM installed through Bosch. You'll be having Metron agent. Actually, what executor is a parent process for all the containers. Executor actually will launch the containers. So executor is the parent process. A parent process will be able to read the std out. So executor will retrieve the logs, send it to Metron. Metron will forward to Doppler. But Doppler will not persist your messages. It will only buffer your messages. There will be a maximum buffer size which your administrator can configure. So what will happen if the buffer is full? The old logs will go out and new logs will be there. So if I want to see my logs before 10 days, they may not be available. I will show you how to drain your logs to some third parties like Splunk or ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, or Papertrail, any third party log managers. You can drain, you can send the logs from Docker to these third parties. I'll show you later. But right now, the Doppler will be buffering. And as I told you yesterday, there will be one more component which will expose a WebSocket endpoint. Can anyone tell me what is the name of this WebSocket endpoint we call?
Traffic controller.
Firehose. Firehose is a WebSocket name, and this component is a traffic controller. So whenever we say CF logs and give the app name, though this will connect to Firehose and retrieve the logs. Whatever are being tailed, new logs will come. Remember, whenever you are using CF logs, we'll get the tailed logs. That means only the new logs. If I want to get all the logs from the buffer, I have to use dash dash recent. This is what we understood, and we actually saw in the lab also. You might have executed these things. Okay, so that's about a quick revision. And CF push and all we did yesterday. CF scale, CF push. I told you multiple times. But today the important topic, services. Okay, very important topic. Please concentrate. If you miss some of the topics, whatever I'm discussing right now, it will be like you'll be disconnected. Please, for next half an hour, please concentrate. You're fresh in the morning, right? So yeah. So what are services? What is the purpose of services and how to use services? Let me tell you by drawing a diagram. Okay, so this is my PCF and these are my cells. My application containers will be running inside cells. And in Cloud Foundry, the main component is Cloud Controller. This exposes a REST API, as we know. And whenever a client wants to talk to Cloud Foundry, they will install CF CLI and they will fire some commands like CF push or CF scale or whatever it is. Right? The request will come to Cloud Controller and Cloud Controller will store everything in its database. And there are a lot of other things, but I'll stop at this point. Now, my application container wants to save the data, whatever it has, in a database. So I should be able to provision a database on cloud and give it to my container so that it can save the data. So I want a database to be provisioned on cloud itself. I want database as a service. Actually, once your administrator has installed Cloud Foundry, there will be 0 services, no services at all. So quickly to recap, if I am using Pivotal Cloud Foundry, what is the procedure for installing Pivotal Cloud Foundry? See, this is my laptop. On my laptop, I need to install Bosch CLI. Sorry, this is my laptop. I need to install Terraform. If I'm using Cloud Foundry, right? And on this machine, I need to download Terraform templates and apply Terraform templates. Once I apply Terraform template, it will create a VM called as Ops Manager or Operations Manager. Okay, this Ops Manager, this Ops Manager internally it contains a web application and Bosch CLI. Have this clearly in your mind, so I'll connect all this. Okay, this is a web application. Now, web application means I'll have a browser. Through browser, I can actually connect to this web application and log in. So this is Ops Manager. And on browser, how does my Ops Manager UI look like? So let me just show you. Okay, I think it is closed. How does it looks like? I'll just open yeah. This is how my Ops Manager UI will look like. So I have hit the Ops Manager web UI. Now here there will be icon initially called as BOSH director for GCP. These two icons will not be there, right? Once I click on it, it will ask for a lot of configuration in various tabs. Once I configure it and apply changes, the request will go from browser to yes web application. Web application will create a .yml file using the configuration whatever I do on the browser. It will create a YML file, and using that YML file, it will ask the BOSH CLI to do the deployment. So this will create one more VM called as BOSH director VM. Okay, BOSH director VM where BOSH will be running. Now we have still Cloud Foundry is not installed, only these two VMs will be there. So next, what is the step I told you? Your administrator has to go to network.pivotal.io and search for Tanzu application service for VMs, and here he has to download this 10 GB file, Pivotal application service. It contains all the software releases, BOSH releases, which are required for Cloud Foundry installation. So they have to download this and go to Ops Manager UI. Here there will be import button. So we have to just import the 10 GB file, whatever we have downloaded. Then after importing, an icon comes here. This icon, second icon will come here, right? The icon will be next to this one. Actually, these icons are side by side, like tiled. So these icons, we call them as tiles. I will say, okay, this Tanzu application service tile will appear. Now what your administrator will do, he will configure, click on this. Lot of configuration will be asked. After configuring all this, if we apply changes, all the VMs of Cloud Foundry will be created. So at this point, only Cloud Foundry is installed. Okay. One more thing, let me tell you. Once Cloud Foundry is installed through BOSH, after installation of Cloud Foundry will be successful. In BOSH, there are some scripts called as post-deploy scripts. Post-deploy scripts. Those are called as errands. Errands. So what are errands in BOSH? Errands are nothing but post-deploy scripts. So after Cloud Foundry is installed, there will be a post-deploy errand. What it will do, that script, it will push an application to Cloud Foundry, which is nothing but Apps Manager. So Apps Manager is running in a container on Cloud Foundry. Who deployed this Apps Manager? One of the post-deploy errand will do it. So let me just show you that one. So this is my this VMware Tanzu application service, right? Here there will be an errand section configuration in Ops Manager, just to know, right? There is something called as Apps Manager errand, which is on. So this pushes Apps Manager application to your installation. That's how you are actually getting this Apps Manager, right? This is the UI. If you see, okay, let me log in.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
As administrator, there will be initially one administrator. Just a minute. Okay. Yep, I'm logging in as admin. Okay, I want you to see. See, there is a space called, there's an organization. Once I logged in as admin, there's an organization called a system. Inside system, there is one space. There are 4 spaces right now, but there's one space called a system. And here you can see apps manager JS green. This is the apps manager application. There are 2 instances running. Who deployed it? Post deploy errand. Okay. Now you are able to see the apps manager. That's fine. Now there are no services available right now. Suppose if I want database as a service, it is not available in Cloud Foundry. Redis as a service, it's not available. Like that. If you want services, let's say you are a developer and I am your administrator. You as a developer know that your application requires MySQL service, MySQL database. Now what you, the developer, has to do is you have to ask the administrator, hey administrator, make MySQL service available to me in marketplace, right? So for Cloud Foundry, there is something called as marketplace for services. Actually, once you log in to Apps Manager, here there will be a link called as marketplace. So I'll click on this. Right now you are seeing VMware Tanzu SQL with MySQL for VMs. Initially, when the plain Cloud Foundry is installed, this will not be there. Actually, I have installed it because that is required for the lab today, right? So I have installed it. So in marketplace, there will be no services. A developer has to request the administrator to make it available. So then what the administrator will do is, administrator will again go to network.pivotal.io. Now I'll search for MySQL. So you can see there is something called as VMware Tanzu SQL with MySQL for VMs. I selected it. And again, here will be a .pivotal file, which is 2.2 GB, right? We have to download this. Then we have to go to Ops Manager. This is Ops Manager UI. Import that 2 GB file. Then this icon will come here. Then click on it, configure whatever is asked. See here, there are some plans of MySQL service. Configure all this and then apply changes. Once changes are applied, the request will go to the web application. Web application will create a YML file and use BOSH client to deploy. BOSH client will talk to BOSH director. BOSH director will use CPI, if you remember, cloud provider interface to talk to the cloud, and it will make a request. Sorry, not request. It will use CPI and it will create one VM called as MySQL Broker VM. MySQL broker. That's all. This MySQL broker will be installed after I apply changes to this MySQL tile. One VM will be created with MySQL broker. This is not MySQL database. It is MySQL broker. What is a broker? Broker is nothing but again a REST endpoint, REST API. And any service broker, this is a broker for MySQL service which got installed. Okay. Now, once this broker VM is installed, then I will be able to see this in the marketplace, right? Now, if I want to see the same service from the CLI, let me just open the CLI. Okay, let me just open the CLI. I'll close this. I want you to see how you can see the services available in marketplace through CLI. Okay, let me open the Cloud Shell. Just wait. Okay, it'll take some time, but I'll just tell you, if I execute a command called as CF marketplace, then the request will go to Cloud Controller. CF command means every request will go to Cloud Controller. It will display the information about this service, whatever you are seeing on the UI. This information will be shown. Okay, but now my question is, use your common sense and tell me, how does this Cloud Controller know that there is a service installed? Hey, what all I did the installation through BOSH. BOSH has communicated with the Google Cloud in this case, and it has created a VM called as MySQL broker. How does my Cloud Controller know that this is installed? Right? So actually what, as I told you, MySQL service broker is nothing but a REST API. REST API means it will be having some base URL. Yes. Okay. So after this VM is installed, there will be post deploy errands. For this deployment also there will be errands. So that errand, what it will do is, it will register this REST API, service broker REST API with Cloud Controller. How? So there's a command called as CF create dash service dash broker, some name, and the URL of the REST API, and that is secured using username and password. That's all. If this command is executed, who is executing this command? Post deploy errand. After this deployment is successful, BOSH post deploy errand will execute this. This command is requesting for what? Create service broker. So it will go to CC and CC will register that information like URL, username, password in the database. And one more thing, this MySQL Service Broker is a REST API exposing 5 endpoints. One is /catalog. I'll tell you what it is. /create service. /bind service. I'll tell you what all it is. /delete service. And /unbind service. So every service broker will have these 5 endpoints. One is /catalog, create service, bind service, delete service, unbind service. Okay. Now, what is this catalog? Let me tell you. In the marketplace, you can see this MySQL, right? Basically, you want a MySQL instance. So what you have to do, see if I click on this service, it is saying I have 3 plans: DB small, DB medium, DB large. So whenever you want a MySQL instance, you have to tell to Cloud Foundry what type of instance do you want. Do you want a small MySQL VM or medium or large? These are the plans which I have configured when installing, right? This is catalog of plans. So every service in the marketplace, right, they will have catalog of plans, right? These are the catalog of plans. Now, I told you that errand, a post deploy errand, will register the broker by firing this command. So the request goes to CC. CC will store the information like URL, username, password in the database, and immediately it will make a call to /catalog. Okay, /catalog. This is a REST API. It will give the information as a JSON about the catalog of plans. It will store that information also in the database. Okay, so that is how my cloud controller is now populated with the service related data in the database. So that's how whenever I say CF marketplace, request will go to CC. CC will check in its database about the marketplace services and it will display, right? Now I am your administrator. I installed MySQL broker, and once MySQL broker is installed, it appears in the marketplace, right? So it's appearing in the marketplace. Now you as a developer, you may want one instance of your database, right? So you have to provision a instance of this MySQL. How? Let me show you through command line first. Okay, sometimes these browsers are a problem. So let me actually go to another browser which I have. I want the CLI right now, so let me close this. I want to connect to this jump box.
Hey viewers, our Mastery in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Yeah, okay. So I got this Cloud Shell here. Just a minute. G Cloud. Okay, actually I am in a different login, so don't worry, this is all Google Cloud. You are not required to know. I'm just SSHing into it. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. G Cloud Compute SSH Ubuntu at Jumpbox. I'm just SSHing into my Jumpbox so that I can fire commands from there because I have installed my CFCLI, everything there itself. What is the zone here? 1B. This is my Jumpbox. Just right. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. Actually, I'll log into my account only. In another browser, there was a browser problem. I was not able to get the Cloud Shell. So don't worry. Quickly, I will log in. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is the same Jumpbox where I installed CFCLI yesterday. So now I'll just say CF version. Yes. CF Marketplace. See, right now you can see that there is a service with name p.mysql, and these are the three plans. So once I fired a command cf marketplace, the request went to cloud controller. It fired a query on its database, and it has shown the catalog of plans. Now I want to create an instance of the service. I'm a developer, let's assume. I want to create an instance of this service, right? So I'm in which space I just want to check. CF target. Actually, I logged in as admin. That's okay. I'm in system organization. I am in system space. Okay. Now, if I want to create an instance of service, I have to use CF create dash service. Let's assume that I don't remember how to use this command. What I can do is I can always say CF help. Okay, it is showing the help of how to actually use CF create service. CF create service, plan name, service name, plan name, and service instance name. So actually you saw my service name is p.mysql and I want db-small. So CF create dash service for what service? p.mysql, and what plan? I want for db-small plan, and what is my ID I want to give for service? Siva MySQL. Okay, enter. See, it is creating a service instance, right? And creation is in progress. What actually it has to do, it has to create one more VM. So it will take some time. Let me just go to Google Console. Right now, how many you have? Only 1 to 12. You have 12 VMs installed here, right? Let me refresh it. There should be one more VM created right now for MySQL database instance. Just wait. Yes, now you can see 13. Yes, you can see the label. This is pivotal-MySQL, you can see. So this is the last new VM which got created right now. Now, I'll go back to command line. And if I want to know the details of the service, I have to use a command cf service. The name of the service I gave is Siva MySQL. Okay, it will give information. It is saying the status of the service is create in progress. Instance provisioning is in progress. Okay, it will take some time. So let me clear the screen. Now, CF services, if I execute, see, it is showing me the services available. Siva MySQL is an instance name, and p.mysql service type db small. Creation is still in progress. This is how I need to create a service instance. So actually what is happening, once I fire cf create service, the request will go to cloud controller. Whenever I fire like the cf create dash service, what is the service type? p.mysql, and what is the plan? db dash small, and instance name I gave as Siva MySQL. If once I fire this command from CLI, the request will go to CC cloud controller. Now cloud controller will check, hey, do I know any service with this name? Is there any service broker registered with this name p.mysql? It will check in the database. Yes. Is there a plan db small? Yes. Okay. Now what we'll do, for this p.mysql, it will get the base URL from the database and will make a request to this MySQL service broker to create service. So cloud controller will actually make a request to broker and ask it to create a service and pass all the details. Now this broker has provisioned the another VMware MySQL instance will be there. That is what is happened when create service is called. Okay. Now let me push one application to Cloud Foundry. Okay, and then I want my application which I push right now to use this, right? So I have one application where I have written a logic to actually consume database. In my URL, whatever I used to give you, resources.wetlearnonline.com/hexaware. Sorry, not this. /PCF dev 2020. Yes, here I have web application REST API created customer REST.jar. This is the REST API which I created in Java. Don't worry, we'll see how to create microservices once we go to a microservices topic. Right now, understand that I have created this application to use database. Okay, so I want to download this and copy this link, and I want to push this application to Cloud Foundry from here. So I'll say wget. It will download. Now I'll push this customer REST app. Okay. So here is my jar. So CF push. App name I'll say cust REST -p ./customer REST.jar. Then -i. If I don't give, the number of instances will be 1 and memory will be by default 1G. So I am pushing it with defaults. Now I will open another terminal and I want you to see the logs. Okay, this is another terminal. Now I will SSH. I want you to see the logs. CF apps, let us see. Is there cust REST? It is still running. I'll say CF logs cust REST. That's the one which is still getting pushed. See, these are the logs. Observe in the logs, it failed to start. Again, it is trying to start. Again, it is trying to start. Again, it failed to start. Why? You can see failed to configure data source. Actually, it is crashing, again starting. Again, it failed to start because of database. Okay, so my application, whatever I pushed, the REST application, it is trying to connect to a database, but it doesn't have the database credentials. So while starting, the application is crashing. So if the application container crashes, what will happen in Cloud Foundry? Tell me, if any container crashes, who will restart that container? Can you tell me, anyone? If any of the container crashes, some component on Cloud Foundry will restart it. We'll take care of doing it. What component is it? It will start with C.
Converger.
Exactly, converger. So actually what, in this case, when I pushed my application, it's trying to start. But during startup, it's trying to connect to database. Till now, I didn't give any information about the database to my application. I'm just pushing it. So since it is not able to connect to database, it's crashing. Converger will restart. Again it will crash, again restart, crash, restart, crash, until the push timeout. There's a timeout by default for pushing. Until the timeout, it will stop, it will crash, again converger will start, crash, start. So this process is called as flapping.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
The application crashes, converger restarts. Again crashes, again it will restart. Until the timeout, CF push timeout. Or the maximum number of restarts are reached. So I guess it will start for 6 times approximately, and then finally it will stop. Okay. Now, let me go here. It failed. See, it crashed. Now, if I say CF events cust-rest, it will show all the events. See how many times it exited? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 times it restarted and 7th time it failed, right? So that's the thing. Now my application is not starting. CF apps. It will show all the apps. The cust-rest. It actually, you can see 0 out of 1 started. 0 out of 1. No instance are running. Actually, by mistake, it is showing a started. After some time, it will show a stopped. Okay. Okay. Now, I want my database to be made available to this one, right? So CF services. It will list all the service instances. Then I want to bind this Siva MySQL to cust-rest. Very simple. CF bind dash service. Application name is cust-rest. Service instance name is Siva MySQL. Let us see what will happen. Oh, binding service is successful. Now, the credentials to connect to this Siva MySQL will be available as environment variables to cust-rest after binding. If you want to see environment variables of any app, the simple command is cfenv cust-rest, the app name. So this is showing the environment variable names. There is one system provided environment variable called as vcap services. vcap underscore services is a standard system provided environment variable. Here you can see a JSON where I have p.mysql, and here you can see the connection credentials. This is the host name, this is the JDBC URL, database name, password, port, username, all this. So what happened after binding? Let me just show you through diagram. After I have bound, what has happened? CF bind service, right? The request will go to cloud controller. Cloud controller will make a call to bind dash service on the broker. Now what this bind dash service will do is, it will return the credentials as a JSON, credentials to connect to this VM. Earlier it created this VM, right? It will return the credentials to connect to this VM as a JSON. That information it will keep in the database in a table called as environment variables, right? It will keep, right? Now tell me, after binding service, the request went to CC made a call to bind dash service on the broker. It got the credentials are stored in database. Now my application container, does it have any information about the credentials stored in this database? No. So what we have to do is we have to restart the container. CF restart my app name. So once I restart, what will happen? A new container will be created, right? So during the container creation startup, it will make a call to Cloud Controller REST API and ask, hey, are there any environment variables for me? If yes, it will take it, and those will be set as environment variables inside the container. So my application code, what it has to do, my application, I have to write a code in such a way that it will look for an environment variable called as vcap_services and get this JSON, extract these values and connect to database. So in my application, I have done it. Okay. So now after binding, as I told you, you have to restart. CF restart cust rest. So you can see the logs here. Now it looks like starting up, right? You can see container became healthy. So it started. Now, what will be my URL of my application, CustRest? Here it is. This is a base URL, right? It is nothing but the app name dot by default apps domain. Okay, let me click on this and open a new tab. Yeah. So here on this application, if I say /customers, it is returning an empty array right now because my REST API is having a URI /customers, which has to retrieve customers from database. So the database got created right now, is it? So there are no customers. Now that's fine. So what I did, I created my application. I have bound my application to this MySQL. Let's assume that this is MySQL instance. I have bound it. My application will be able to connect to this using the credentials. Right? Now, tell me, who provisioned this MySQL? It will be provisioned through BOSH only. What if this MySQL crashes? As an administrator, do I need to do anything? No. If you remember, I told you in BOSH, there will be health monitor, right? BOSH agent will be sending heartbeats to health monitor, health manager, right? So if the heartbeats are not coming to health monitor, it will identify that that VM is crashed and it will intimate one plugin of health manager called as Resurrector. And Resurrector will ask the BOSH director to start another VM. So what I mean to say is any services created through BOSH, we don't need to worry. If that VM crashes, automatically it will be restarted. So such the type of services are called as managed services because internally Cloud Foundry will take care of it. Right? BOSH, of course, internally BOSH will take care of it. BOSH will manage such services. So any services created through service broker, these are nothing but managed services, right? Okay. Now I have one more requirement. Let me tell you. Let's assume that this is my cell and here is my container. What I did till now, this is a service broker Through service broker, we have created a MySQL database in this case, which is inside Cloud Foundry itself. And we have bound this application to this service. Once I have bound the service, the credentials to connect to this database are available as environment variables. So my code is using those environment variables to make connections. Everything is fine. But let's say I have an external database, legacy database, some external anywhere, and this is not installed through BOSH. It is installed by your administrator, right? So is this a managed service? Database is service. Is this a managed one? No, it is not installed through BOSH. It is not installed through Cloud Foundry. So I want my application to be able to connect to this database. And this database, which is a service, is not a managed service. It is a user provided service. So you have to provide the details about this database, right? So what all do you think my application needs to connect to this database? Some username, password, and all, right? So what I have to do is I have to create a user provided service. CF create dash user dash provided dash service, or shortcut is there. Instead of typing a lot, CF create user provided SCUPS. Okay, then I have to give, let's say, my DB. I want to give this as a instance name. And what all parameters I should give? -p. I want to give all the credentials. What? Username, comma, password, comma, URL, etc. This is how I need to fire. Let me show you here how to create a user provided service and pass all these details. Now, I'll go here. First, let me clear. CF services. How many services are there right now? MySQL, and this is something. Now what I'll do is again CF cups. I'll say MyDB -p. I use -p for passing credentials. Let's say my username, my user, my password, comma, my URL. Once I execute this command, it is asking me give the value of my user, some user, some password, some URL. So I'm giving the values. So now it is saying, hey, user provided service MyDB is created, right? Now if I say CF services, see, is there MyDB? It is of type what? User provided. Then what is the use? Once I have a service with name MyDB, I can bind it to my application. So let me show you. CF bind dash service. CustTrust is my application, and MyDB is the service name. That's all. Binding is done. Now I want to see the environment variable CFENV CustRest. Yeah, I want you to see here. Earlier I told that under vCap services, you can see p.mysql. If I go down, you can also see user provided. Under this, do you see MyDB instance name and the credentials, my password, my user, my URL? They are also available under vCap services under that user provided. Now what I can do in my application, after binding, I could have written my application to look for my username, my password, my URL, and I could make a connection to this database, right? So this service, this database is not managed by Cloud Foundry. That is a user provided service. So what if this database crashes? Is Cloud Foundry responsible? No. Your administrator has installed it, so he will have to take care of it. So if you want Cloud Foundry to manage the service instances, install the install it as a tile, like how I have shown you. Install it as a tile. If you install it through Ops Manager as a tile, the Ops Manager will manage those VM instances. So it is a managed service, otherwise it's a user provided service. Now I will tell you one more scenario. Let's assume that this is my cust REST container and I have bound MySQL to it already. Okay, this is exposing a REST API, right? Now, what I want is I want to deploy one web application, customer web.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.